Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. Both guys have strengths, a lot of strengths to their game. And both guys, it goes without saying, are elite top level heavyweights. This to me really is the best versus the best. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, in my opinion, and in the opinions of many others, are number one and number two in the division. Whatever order you have them in, that's really down to personal preference. But these two are the cream of the crop. There may be some contenders who are waiting in the wings who would like to dispute that. Anthony Joshua, Frank Sanchez, to name a few. But these are the two guys who it's about. These are the two guys who are competing for undisputed. And as I often do with these big fights, these big fights, I look at three reasons why I think one fighter beats the other. We're going to start with Tyson Fury. Three reasons why he beats Oleksandr Usyk. Now, as I always say when I do these videos, this is not a prediction video. This is not my pick for the fight. So me doing this and saying these are three reasons why I think Tyson Fury, they're just why I think he wins. That's not me saying that these will be the reasons why Tyson Fury wins. Vice versa, these will be the reasons why Oleksandr Usyk wins. I'm not necessarily picking Tyson Fury. You'll have to wait and see how the prediction video goes. As I said, it's not a prediction video. It's just three reasons, three things that I think Tyson Fury does that can offset Oleksandr Usyk. Saying that, there's three reasons that three things Oleksandr Usyk can do to offset Fury. Let's get into this video. Let's bring up the first reason why Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk. And it's something that people don't talk enough about Tyson Fury. And it's also something that fighters haven't picked up on yet with Oleksandr Usyk. And I'm not talking about the body shots, not yet anyway. The uppercut. Tyson Fury throws not a bad uppercut. Personally, I think that Anthony Joshua has a better uppercut, but Tyson Fury's is still pretty good. Have a look on screen. You see him there knocking out Dillian Whyte with that very punch. And it was a lovely uppercut. Dillian Whyte can say whatever he wants to say. Oh, he pushed me. Look, Dillian Whyte was going down regardless. Let's just slow that clip down a little bit and let's have a look at this clip in slow motion. I love what he does because Dillian Whyte is hands down, blinded with the jab. Big uppercut comes in and Dillian Whyte all sorts of messed up. It was a lovely shot by Tyson Fury. The referee, some would say, he didn't give Dillian Whyte, he should have let him have a chance. No, he was done from that uppercut. Now, why is that going to be crucial against Oleksandr Usyk? You see, bear in mind, Tyson Fury does like to switch it, but let's say he's coming into this fight fighting in the orthodox stance, all right, which I think he probably should, for the most part, fight it in the orthodox stance. If you look at Oleksandr Usyk, he has a tendency, even though he's a great mover, he's a tendency to do, as Teddy Atlas would say, get the earmuffs on. Has that high guard. And the high guard is good because obviously it blocks a lot of shots. You do need to have a good strength in your core and have good strength in your arms to make that work. But it leaves you open to several shots. And if you're in the southpaw stance, an uppercut, especially if an uppercut that's disguised, as Tyson Fury likes to do, with a jab, you're in a southpaw stance, you're actually open to that shot. The right uppercut coming from the orthodox stance is a great shot to have on a southpaw. Now, I always said in both Joshua fights that Joshua needs to use that uppercut because he has it in his arsenal. He's knocked out plenty of fighters with it. He needs to use that against Oleksandr Usyk. He didn't. I think he did a little bit at parts. I think it was in the first fight he did use the uppercut a little bit, and he actually had a bit of success with it. Now, personally, I think that Joshua's uppercut, I think his inside game is better. I think he throws better short shots than Tyson Fury. But the uppercut is still a punch that's there for Tyson Fury if he uses it. And I think he'd be well advised to use it against Oleksandr Usyk. So that's the first reason. Let's have a look at the second reason, which is basically Tyson Fury, his ability to change his game plan on the fly. Now, some are speculating, myself included, that Tyson Fury is looking in good shape and possibly is looking to move around in this fight. Now, Tyson Fury can do that, as you'll see on screen. I think that's his first fight with Derek Chisora. He's moving around, he's popping the jab. Derek Chisora trying to get in, can't get underneath that jab. Derek Chisora is not Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk is not just going to stand there and let his head get jabbed off. Oleksandr Usyk is going to resemble somebody like Steve Cunningham. Have a look there on screen. Now, look at Tyson Fury here. He's charging forward. Yes, he is using the jab, but the jab is really, what's it doing? It's not really affecting Steve Cunningham. And what Tyson Fury is also doing, he's actually having to hold it out, which you're not actually allowed to do. The referee should have been having words with him about that. Is all he's doing is trying to hold it out because the jab is basically worthless. Steve Cunningham is too fast. He's not as good as Oleksandr Usyk. He's a similar dimensions. Actually, he's a bit lighter, but he's too fast. Fury, he can't do it. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, what am I doing? I'm normally able to control these bigger, slower heavyweights with this jab, with this movement, with this range. I can't control this short, little, basically a cruiserweight. Steve Cunningham, I think, was 210 pounds for that fight. He's too fast. He's able to get under my shots. He's too fast. I can't do anything. So what did Tyson Fury do then? Have a look on screen. He put the earmuffs on in many ways. He put his hands up. He started moving forward, blocking the shots Steve Cunningham was throwing, and then throwing shorter shots. And he did have success. That's when he was able to land a couple of right hands on Steve Cunningham. Now, that's something that I felt that Anthony Joshua needed to do in their fight, both fights with Oleksandr Usyk, and he didn't. He talked about doing it. I think that in his head, that was what he wanted to do. But for whatever reason, when it came fight night, he just decided, okay, if the opportunity presents itself to charge in and go in on Oleksandr Usyk, I will. But I'm going to make this a boxing match. And making Oleksandr Usyk have a boxing match, I mean, you may as well just say, I want to lose. Because Oleksandr Usyk is a brilliant boxer. He was able to read Anthony Joshua, completely in both fights. I was able to really take control in both fights. If Tyson Fury is in a situation where early on he's trying to box, he's popping a jab, it's not having the desired effect, Usyk is able to get underneath it. He's able to counter Tyson Fury. He's able to hit Tyson Fury to the body. He's just slippery like an eel in there. He's not able to, because Usyk has a very good defense as well. He's there, he's fainting. That's going to fatigue you. Even if you're not actually getting hit, just trying to follow that guy around the ring and do all that, you're just like, well, what's going on here? I think Tyson Fury, it's in his arsenal, it's in his game. It's something people don't actually talk about enough, that he will just say, right, see this boxing, let's go. And if that does happen, Tyson Fury will always be the bigger man. Doesn't matter what Oleksandr Usyk does, he's not going to be as big or as strong as Tyson Fury. So Fury will have a lot of strength in there. He'll have strength in the clinches. He can throw shots up close. He'll let right hands go. So that is crucial for Tyson Fury in there against Oleksandr Usyk. If the boxing isn't working, or more so, if his legs aren't working. And the reason why I say that is because Tyson Fury, I felt for a while, doesn't have his legs anymore. That's not to say that they're completely shot to pieces. I think he has those legs. If you've ever heard of a fighter called Tyrell Biggs, Tyrell Biggs was an Olympic gold medalist, 84 Olympics, part of that American squad. Biggs was a mover. He was a good mover, but he was a mover. But Biggs had a lot of problems. As many fighters in the 1980s, he had substance trouble, and he had that from the get-go in his career. I think even before he turned pro. And as I said, he was a mover. But by the time he fought for a world title again, even before that against David Bay and the likes of those, his legs were completely gone. Now Tyson Fury had not as bad as Tyrell Biggs, and a much better fighter than Tyrell Biggs as a professional anyway. Living that life, everything, and Tyrell Biggs was a lot younger than Tyson when he had those issues. The legs just won't be able to do it for 12 rounds. So if it's in a situation where head knows I want to move, legs just won't do it, then it's going to be a case of you're going to have to change it up on the fly. And Tyson Fury can't do that. We get into the third and final reason why he beats Oleksandr Usyk is Oleksandr Usyk's vulnerability to the body. Now, some would argue that Frank Warren and Tyson Fury, they're making too much of a song and dance about this. And you could make the case, yeah, they're relying too much on Oleksandr Usyk having a weak body, having a glass body, not being able to take a body shot. And Oleksandr Usyk, you go back in the amateurs, like against Artur Beterbiev, you see a couple of examples there on screen. Whenever he's been dropped, it's not been with headshots, it's been with body shots. And yes, he's been dropped, but he's not been stopped. He's been dropped, but he's not been stopped. Against Daniel Dubois, a lot of people say it was a low blow. A lot of people feel that it was borderline, and, referee Usyk should consider himself lucky not to have got a count. A lot of people read so much into that because they try and make it out, Oleksandr Usyk was down for X amount of time, this, that, and the other. A lot of these people are clutching straws. At the end of the day, if the referee rules it a low blow, then the referee's word is final at the end of the day. And if Oleksandr Usyk goes down and the referee signals it's a low blow, he's not compelled to get up. He doesn't need to. He knows he has the 5 minutes. If the referee starts counting, that's a different story. We don't know what might happen. In a situation like that, he may just have to go and wake his legs up and say, right, I'm up now. Either way, referee, I think it was Lewis Pabon who refereed that fight, ruled it a low blow. All right. A lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, well, I mean, Tyson Fury's never been a body puncher. But I believe he will go and will try and target Oleksandr Usyk's body in this fight. Now, you run the risk doing that of leaving yourself open to counters. However, if Tyson Fury is able to land on Oleksandr Usyk's body, he's able to sufficiently weaken Oleksandr Usyk. Not even if it's a case of going to Oleksandr Usyk's body and just trying to look for the knockout that way. Oleksandr Usyk is a fighter who relies a lot on his legs as well, and his legs are still there. You are going to take the wind out of those sails if you hit him to the body enough times. And potentially, it's a big weakness there. And if Fury is smart, instead of just going, kamikaze style, trying to attack the body, if he's smart with it, could really pay dividends later on in the fight. Potentially could be how he wins this fight. Potentially. I mean, I wouldn't rule him out stopping Oleksandr Usyk to the body. He's been down before with body shots. They shouldn't really focus on that being the be all and end all. They should have other options in there, how you're going to, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to beat Oleksandr Usyk. Don't be just hyper-focusing on it. And how would he feel if he lands a really, really good stinker of a body shot, I should say, and Usyk is like, oh, okay. And here you go, have that. I think it's there. It's a weakness. But they need to look at other avenues. They need to look at other weaknesses that are there for Oleksandr Usyk as well. So they would be my 3 reasons. The body of Oleksandr Usyk potentially being vulnerable, especially now that he's in his late 30s. The uppercut of Tyson Fury. And the physical strength and ability to change on the fly. I'm going to lump them all into one. They're my 3 reasons as to why Tyson Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk. They're the reasons as to why I think he beats them. You could have other reasons as well. Leave them in the comment section. But bear in mind, that is not me necessarily saying that what I said here in this video will actually happen on fight night. This is not me necessarily picking Tyson Fury to win this fight. These are just 3 reasons why I think he wins. Stay tuned. We will have the 3 reasons why I think Oleksandr Usyk beats Tyson Fury. I know people like these videos. I enjoy doing them as well. And people, they tend to do very good. They tend to do. My Joshua beat Usyk, why he beats Usyk one is, I think, still my highest viewed video on this channel. Let's try and make one of these beat that. Let's try and make one of these beat that. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. And subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Lads and lassies. Peace.